Mr. Shawn Adam Levy of Canada, step to the front. Yeah, today's Judgment Day. And Judge Elsie is presiding. Step to the front. Let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a special edition of F Around and Find Out. I miss these episodes because this is when I get into my element. I get into the nitty gritty. I bring you guys the research, the homework, the vibes, the giggles. We have found ourselves at one of those episodes, and the star of today's show, yes, you guessed it, Shawn Levy. And why is Shawn Levy the star of today's show? Because we will all remember Shawn Levy and Ryan Reynolds did a movie together, right? Deadpool 3, Deadpool Wolverine, I don't know what you want to call it, but he directed the movie. We also know that Ryan Reynolds has referred to Shawn Levy as his, what do you want to call it, writing soulmate, creative mute, whatever you want to call it, okay? They've described each other as like they work in tandem. They work hand in hand, they work together, they finish each other's sentences, they want a mama's tits together. I'm not going to belabor the point. Why is Shawn an interesting character for today? Don't worry. I'll tell you why. We all remember Marvel being subpoenaed, right? And Marvel coming out and pretty much saying they don't have nothing to do with nothing. Okay, just in case you are somebody who doesn't really know, I'm just going to catch you up. So Marvel was subpoenaed by Brian Friedman saying he wants a couple of things as far as Nicebook, right? And Marvel came back with a long-winded way of saying there's really nothing we can give you because it's all proprietary trade secrets and we can't tell you anything about Nicepool because like we might be using it in the future in one of our films and we can't have that getting out, blah, 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 right? Well, I want to discuss something and stick with me here. You might be here a minute. We all remember this faithful video where we heard Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy talking about how they let Inez say those nasty things, right? I'm not about to repeat that, but we can all remember, right? If you don't remember, just type in Inez or Kidpool and I'm sure it's going to pop up because I do not want to relive that trauma. I'm a grown woman and I'm still traumatized from that mess. So the commentary, and the video I'm referring to is the commentary where we hear Shawn Levy, Ryan Reynolds talking behind the clips of the film about how the scenes came about and all that, right? Well, because I don't know about anybody else, but because I was so intently focused on finding the lines for Inez at that time, I never watched past that section. I never watched this entire video because I was so focused on that Inez portion of things that I didn't even take the time. And I'm almost ashamed to say it, but one of you faithful FAFO associates did your due diligence and you know who you are. I told you I wouldn't say your name. You don't want your information out there like that, but I'm going to say shout out to M and you're going to know who you are. So shout out to you. Everybody in the comments, make sure to write, thank you, M, for bringing this to our managing partner's attention, because now I'm bringing it to your attention. And hopefully we can grab Brian Friedman's attention together and he can do some magic with this. Well, if you haven't watched Deadpool, which I haven't, I only know about this from this clip. But remember the part where, why am I talking? Let me just play the video, then let's talk about it, right? Okay.
And talks about making me laugh on set. This was one where it really got me. Ryan really committed to the absurdity and the sweet, innocent, oblivious idiocy of Nicepool.
Okay.
So much of this was kind of made up on the...
I don't mean to interrupt. I know you were all enjoying that clip, but we're going to go back a couple of seconds and I want you all to take the time and really listen to how Shawn Levy describes Nicepool. Bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. We're going to run this back a couple of seconds, and we're going to just listen again, and I want you to peel your ears if you have to close your eyes and, be in a cold room or something, but just listen, because there's going to be a quiz later.
An example, Ryan talks about making me laugh on set. This was one where it really got me. Ryan really committed to the absurdity and the sweet, innocent, oblivious idiocy of Nicepool.
Okay. I believe he said sweet, innocent, oblivious idiocy of Nice Pool, right? Is that whatever? This is the quiz. What did you hear? Put it in the comments. Because if you heard sweet, innocent, oblivious idiocy of Nice Pool, you're correct. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. But why is that important, you think? Well, if a guy was SHing my wife, we have established that Nice Pool is in fact Justin Baldoni because Ryan Reynolds said the predatory statements and him, making Nice Pool about Justin Baldoni was supposed to not be that deep. And if it hurt his feelings, it's not his problem. So we're going to go over that, right? We're going to take a look at Ryan Reynolds' motion to dismiss. So right here, one of the first times Predator comes up is in the table of contents, but this is when it starts to really hold some weight. The Wayfarer parties concede that the only statements of Mr. Reynolds alleged in the first amended complaints were the Predator statements. And then we get right here where they say the Predator statements are unactionable opinion. The Predator statements constitute protected opinion. Remember when they said Ryan Reynolds has a constitutional right to call Justin Baldoni whatever he likes. The Wayfarer parties claims that the court cannot conclude as a matter of law that Baldoni is a sexual predator, but the substantial truth doctrine does not require the court to make any such determination. The Wayfarer parties' opposition confirms the central thesis of Mr. Reynolds' motion to dismiss. The FAC, the first amended complaint, is a meritless list of grievances and hurt feelings designed to retaliate against Blake Lively for raising sexual harassment and retaliation claims. Now, I want to bring you back to the Deadpool scene. And we can debate this all day long, but we all know Nice Pool is supposed to be Justin. You can argue till you are blue in the face. You can argue with your mama. You can raise the ancestors in your family and argue with them. Nice Pool is Justin Baldoni. We all know that. But tell me why. Somebody explain to me why Nice Pool, when they're talking about him in this commentary, and I want to play it again so you can hear it again because I think it's very important to make my point. They describe him as innocent, oblivious, idiot. Like he's just does not know what's going on and he is too sweet for his own good and he is soft. And we know later they bring up the whole feminism thing and the podcasting and the man bun thing. We know it's Justin, okay? You don't need to convince me. If you need convincing, I can't help you. Like there is nothing else I could do to convince you they're talking about Justin. So I'm going to play it again and we're going to hear it again, what they call Justin, because I want to make sure it's really in there.
This is an example Ryan talks about making me laugh on set. This was one where it really got me. Ryan really committed to the absurdity and the sweet, innocent, oblivious idiocy of Nice Pool.
Okay.
So much of this was kind of made up on the day, too.
That's enough. I think we can all get it now. The man who you claim was sexually harassing your wife, whom you went out of your way to create a character for, you did not describe him in Deadpool. You did not make him a predatory character. You did not make him a harasser of Lady Pool. You did not make him a philandering, sleazy man. You made him an innocent, oblivious, what do you want to call it? Whatever word you want to call man. Not a predator, not a harasser. And then you laughed about it. And then I find it very symbolic that in this scene, Deadpool is quite literally using Nice Pool as a human shield while he is being shot at by Lady Pool. I want to talk about how symbolic this scene is. And I didn't even compute it till right now making this video. The fact that we see Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, using Nice Pool, Justin Baldoni, argue with your mama, as a human shield while Lady Pool, Blake Lively, is shooting straight bullets at him. Is literally what's happening right now. They're quite literally using the man as a human shield for your crap. And he's just supposed to stand there and take it because he's a feminist. Yeah, that's what you want me to believe. That he should just stand there and take it because he's a feminist. And he should just let Blake walk all over him and let Blake lie on him. And he should not dare defend himself like y'all did to him in this movie. But again, you did not call him a predator in this movie. You did not make him sleazy. You did not make, because he was not. He was never what you're accusing him of. He's always been how you described him in this movie. A feminist, a podcaster, man bun having, oblivious, innocent. However many nice words you want to use to discredit him or to tear him down is exactly what he was to your wife. He was innocent. He was oblivious when your wife lied in his face and said, "Oh, I wrote the script and nobody takes me seriously in this industry. So why won't you take me seriously?" And your wife, being the manipulative little she is, wrote him and said, "Oh, I'm sending you these lines that I wrote." Why don't we pull it up, shall we? We're going to turn our Bibles to page 10 of 168. What is our Bible? The timeline of relevant events. You already know. TheLawsuitInfo.com, if you're following at home. If not, just read along on the page. I got you. So we're going to look at page 10, and we're specifically looking at April 7th and 8th of 2023. I'm like, girl, why is that date so interesting? Don't worry, I'll tell you. On April 7th and 8th, Baldoni shares the updated script with Lively. Lively excitedly, she was excited, text Baldoni her thoughts on the pivotal rooftop meet cute scene, acknowledging its significance in the story. She asks if she can take a pass of the dialogue, hoping to infuse more of her voice into the character and make it more flirty and yummy. Oh yes, we get our first yummy. Baldoni welcomes her input, eager to take on the moment and make the character hers. He thought she could write. He waits for her notes. That's April 7th and 8th, right? Stick with me. Do not doze off. It's getting good. It's getting warmer. April 9th, Lively shares her notes on the rooftop scene with Baldoni and follows up with a text, eagerly awaiting his thoughts. Baldoni responds via voice note, expressing his appreciation for her passion and edits. While he likes her changes, he envisions the final version landing somewhere between her take and the original. On April 9th, we get this text. Justin Baldoni writes, "New script coming." I hope you guys can see this. If not, believe me, I'm reading it off the screen. "New script coming to you shortly. We worked on a lot of the Lily and Ryle stuff to make it more playful and sparkly." Because remember, Blake wanted sparkle. "Thank you for giving me my new favorite word, sparkly. Talk soon." Blake responds, "So excited to read Monday. Love a sparkle pass." Then Blake writes, "I lied. So excited to work on this movie. I can't wait till Monday. Already reading. My kids are going to kill me. They've had enough of me, for Christ's sake." Girl, not just your kids. I've had enough of you. Me. I would like a break from you, but I can't. I can't because you don't know how to take a break. You keep coming back with a bullshit. So I got to meet you halfway with a bullshit. Let's get back into it. The meet cute scene is, to me, the most important scene in the movie. Sets the tone and needs to feel extra special. You're okay if I play with some of the dialogue to give her a bit more agency and fun and send to you? It'll affect some of your lines too if I switch out some of hers. But anywhere we can amp their verbal ping pong volley, I think we'll be cooking with gas, right? Reel the audience in and make them all fall desperately in love with these two. Then when the other shoe drops, ouch, the audience will be devastated. We can use some, all, or none of it. I want to repeat. She says right there, we can use some, all, or none of it. What does that mean to you? It means to me that after you write the bullshit lines that you want to write for my rooftop scene for the movie I'm directing, for the movie I've bought, I, Justin Baldoni, the director and the owner of this movie, have the right, and hell, if I want to, use some, all, or none of the lines you write for me. Okay? I just don't want to step on any toes. Girl, don't make me laugh. Not only did you step on his toes, you stomped him. You stomped him like a fly, like a gnat. So don't even. Justin so enthusiastically says, fuck yes. Like, girl, he thought he found a partner. Oh, sucks to sucks. I couldn't agree more. It's what I tried to do in the last pass and some of what I was hoping we could do together. I can only write and play with what I feel is your tone so much. First scene is most important in film. It's why I'm okay with 10 pages. We rarely get to see that in films anymore. Go play and then we can see how it feels together. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. There's no need to read the messages on the right because that's not important. On April 9th, Justin waits for Blake to get back to him. Now, while he likes her changes, he envisions the final version somewhere between hers and the original he had queued up, right? Blake responds. Blake writes, Happy Easter. What do you think of the pages? Dun, dun, dun. I'm doing my own sound effects because I don't have time to edit in sound effects. So dun, dun, dun. April 12th, 2023. Baldoni meets with Lively at her apartment in New York. He is greeted by Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, who enthusiastically praises Lively's rewrites of the rooftop scene. Excuse me, come again? On April 12th, Baldoni met with Lively at her apartment. He is greeted by Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, who enthusiastically praises Lively's rewrites of the rooftop scene, which she has sent on April 8, 2023. Now, why is that funny and why is that important?
Is here tonight. What is it like for the both of you to be promoting major motion pictures at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it's just so thrilling in our house right now. We help each other. We work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know. But he wrote it. He works on everything I do so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know.
I know.
He wrote it.
I hope I'm not losing you. But that is a funny thing because we do actually find out now, we know, that Ryan Reynolds actually wrote the rooftop scene. The one Blake sent to Justin, the one she actually begged to write because she wanted to play with the character and, give it some type of vim and vigor. Let's move on, shall we? Hours later, as the meeting is ending, a megastar, Taylor Swift walks in, okay? And also begins praising Lively's script. The Lively script that we all know is actually Ryan Reynolds' script, right? Okay. Now, this is when Justin Baldoni is pretty much going to tell Blake, I'm not into the script. Your script is ass. I will not be using your script in my movie. Baldoni asked Lively to send him the FDX file of the rooftop scene she worked on. Lively emails him the file. Okay, this is where it's about to get dicey. Because Justin reads the script and he's like, this is some booty cheeks. This is ass. This is bad writing. Baldoni and Lively text about the script changes and enhancing dialogue for the role of Lily Bloom's mother, Jenny Bloom. Baldoni conveys he's happy for Lively to share her notes, but ultimately wants to run any changes by the scriptwriter because there was an actual scriptwriter out of respect. Look at that, respect. I can see why Blake wasn't down with that. She does not know what that is. Lively agrees, apparently. In the wake of the meeting, 2 days earlier, in the presence of Reynolds and their mega celebrity friend Taylor Swift, who Lively describes as her dragons in a lengthy text to follow, Baldoni feels obligated to text Lively saying that he liked her pages and hadn't needed Reynolds and Taylor Swift to pressure him. Baldoni acknowledges Lively's text about her dragons and apologizes for not responding right away. However, he promises to send a more thoughtful voice note later that evening when he gets home from his plans. Now, I sure as hell don't have time to read all this because we all already know that Blake ended up responding to Justin's text messages by saying how Nobody's taking me seriously in this industry. People don't respect me. I've read the whole script by hand for free and I didn't get paid for it. I didn't get credit for it. Now, I don't know why they're doing that, but that's what she told Justin. And that man felt so bad. He picked up the phone at 2 a.m. and sent a very, 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 very coerced, we know now, voice note, pretty much profusely apologizing for something he never needed to apologize for. Because why? Lively, Blake never even wrote the script. So he was apologizing to Ryan Reynolds, actually, if you think about it. But after all that, Blake actually responds to his text message. Thanks so much for the thoughtful messages. They're very appreciated. Looking forward to catching up in person. And I too promise I'll freak you out, spook you, upset you, and be an actual beast. She didn't lie. She did not lie. But I can promise it will always be in service of this movie and our shared goal. But will always apologize. I appreciate being able to communicate openly always. XX. She did say she was gonna be the devil. We should have listened. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe we're the crazy ones. She did say right there, I'm gonna spook you, I'm gonna upset you, and I'm gonna be an actual beast. She's holding up her end of the bargain. All right, then. I said all that to say, if we come back to this scene, again, Ryan Reynolds using Nice Pool as a literal human shield while Lady Pool empties the clip into Nice Pool is literally a representation of what's going on right now. Blake Lively is emptying the clip and Ryan Reynolds is standing there just holding Justin Baldoni, the real life Justin Baldoni, and it's like, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. Again, what were the words? Innocent, sweet, oblivious, idiot was the word they used to describe Nice Pool, Justin Baldoni. If you don't agree, like I said, argue with your mama. They didn't call him a pervert. They didn't call him a predator. They didn't call him dirty, sleazy, whatever the word you want to pick. Because there was no SH. Because there was no harassment. Because there was no trauma. Because there was no fear. Because there was no shame. Blake Lively had to fear from this man. He actually needed to fear you guys because you saw him as this weak, sweet, innocent, oblivious idiot that you could walk all over and you could tramp and he wouldn't do shit about it. And then you met me. And then you met Donna. And then you met Andy. And then you met Leanne. And then you met Lauren. And then you found out this man bun wearing feminist podcast hosting sweet, oblivious, Baha'i faith, God fearing man happens to have a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of somebodies, a bunch of billionaires, a bunch of people just ready to go to war. And you haven't been able to comprehend that. And that's what keeps fucking you up. Sat there and wrote a character and literally sat at home and coached your wife on how to go in and bat her eyelashes and puppy dog tears her way out of this situation. And it's like, you know what? He's sweet. He's oblivious. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's an idiot. We can take over this movie. We could do whatever we want, Blake. I could give you this movie. I could hand you this movie. I could make you a producer. I could do this. I could do that. Just go in and ask him for whatever. He's probably going to say yes. He's probably going to say yes to whatever. Oh, and God forbid he says no. We know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to smack him across the face with so many claims of sexual harassment. He's not going to know what to do. He's not going to know what hit him. Oh, and we're not going to do investigations. We're just going to use these to get things. We're going to say he did this to you, and then we're going to get edits. We're going to say he did this to you, and then we're going to get the poster. We're going to say he did this to you, and then we're just going to get the rights from up under him. Hell, we might offer to buy it. And then when he says no, he doesn't want to sell it, that's when we're really, really going to dig our heels in. And then we're going to go to the CRD. When we realize the public is not falling for the bullshit, we're going to file a civil rights claim against this man. Little did you know that this man had been stacking receipts, and piling receipts and getting ready for war. And you knew nothing about it. So you went to the CRD and they said, hey, we want to investigate. This is not supposed to happen. And you said, no, I don't need an investigation. Just give me the paperwork. Just give me the paperwork that says I came to see you. And then you went and knocked on the New York Times door. And them being the dummies they are, they said, ooh, this is going to get clicks. Yep. And they wrote the story up. And then the man that you guys thought was going to be a human shield, a walking body armor, was like, I'm bulletproof. Turns out he's bulletproof. And the bullets just kept ricocheting. You thought tears were ricocheting on that tailor? No. Your accusations started ricocheting back to you. And that is something you have not computed yet. Because between you and Ryan, y'all must be sharing a brain cell. You, Ryan, your lawyers, you all must have one brain cell on rotation. So you cannot come together and make a concise decision. It looks like when he has the brain cell, you don't have it. So by the time you get it back, like y'all cannot sit down and make an actual decision together as a unit. A decision that in your benefit will be pay that man. Let this shit go away. But you keep digging and you keep digging and you keep digging and you want more. And you keep taking and taking and taking. You have come to the end of the road. And as God is my witness, as I live and breathe, as a mother to a son and a wife to a husband, I do not want to live in a world where just because you have a uterus, you can accuse men of stuff. I don't believe in that. And it's not support women, believe women. No, women lie, men lie, women lie, men lie, women cheat, men cheat. It's each man for himself, God for us all. And when God just happens to be on your side, he throws a couple men and women to come your way and help you out. And you guys are just finding out God may not be out here looking out for you. God is busy. Okay, God is busy helping kids with illnesses. God is busy helping women. God is busy helping people who need help. Y'all are not one of them. God is busy giving out resources to people who actually need it. You, Blake, and Ryan are not on his list. So Marvel, if you can hear me, whomever is counsel for Marvel or whomever works for Marvel that can hear me, pony those documents up. Go ahead and give it up. Okay? The motion to dismiss is not coming. Show us the documentation. Whatever you got on Nice Pool, we want to see it. And I dare you to jerry rig and fabricate stuff and see if we don't find out. So Shawn Levy, I want you to come to the front and explain to me where you guys got the idea for Nice Pool being this sweet, innocent, oblivious idiot of a man that you could use as a human shield, and it would be funny. And he would have a man bun, and he would have a podcast, and he'll be a feminist. Take your time. I'll wait. Matter of fact, we will all wait. We got time. 2026. That'll be all. I hope this was informative. I hope this was easy to understand. I hope this was easy to follow. And I hope you all come back for the next episode of F Around and Find Out. I appreciate you for being here. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I cannot wait for March of 2026 because justice has to be coming. This cannot all be in vain. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.